Well, welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Starts, and with me today is Katie and Luke from Katie and the Honky Tonks. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us. Happy to be here.
Hello.
Hi, this is great. So we got you both together. Two Stepping in the Shower, the new EP is coming. But before we get into all that, let's learn a little bit about who Katie and the Honky Tonks are.
All right. Well, we're just four dorks from Iowa. That's what I like to call us. Central Iowa, all born and raised. We started actually as a cover band. Kind of just wanted to bring that old country sound to town because there's nothing really like that around here. And it ended up going so well that we're kind of like, man, should we write our own songs? So we did. And then we released an EP, and now I just want to keep releasing more and more music.
That's awesome. So did you guys grow up playing music from an early age? What was kind of the first taste of music in the home for y'all?
Luke did.
I did. I grew up, my dad was an old country blues player, playing stuff like Mississippi John Hurt, all that stuff. And then in high school, I was in a death metal band, and I toured with a death metal band for like 12 years. Always had the dream to be in a honky tonk band because all we did was listen to Dwight Yoakam, Hank Sr., and George Jones in the old tour van. So being able to form this honky tonk band 5 years ago has always been a dream. So it's just been so much fun. So yeah, I've been playing music my whole life.
That's awesome. And you.
Oh, sorry. I've been
No,
singing,
go ahead,
but
Katie. Yeah.
I have only been playing guitar for about 10 years, self-taught. So I basically just taught myself to play guitar so I could sing. And it just kind of took off from there.
Only a decade, huh?
Well, I'm not very good. I still just play just so I can sing. I have no desire to shred guitar.
Right. I say the same thing. I'm a campfire strummer.
Yep.
I've always been a singer, and I started out, playing concert band, playing the drums, and then picked up the bass for jazz band. And then after a year of that, and I think it was the fact that it was a big, 30-pound PV bass from the 80s of why I drive away. But my dad played guitar. My uncle plays guitar. And I finally got a guitar in my hand about, 12, 13 years old, 8th grade. And then being able to play and sing, it was just such a natural fit, right? There's something about a guitar and the way a human voice meld together. That's really a beautiful thing.
Yep.
So I feel you, Katie. I'm not a shredder either by any means, but we get the
And
job
that's
done.
okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, it serves a purpose, right? When it's your voice. And I love that now you've found a heart for songwriting as well. So can you kind of talk about going from playing other people's music, being in the cover band thing, but then, kind of venturing off and starting to write music?
Yeah, so when we started, we really didn't even think about having a band per se. We were just kind of jamming with some friends, and it ended up sounding really good. So we decided to just bust out some hits from the 40s to the 70s, and it just caught on really well. And I always thought that we would never make money if we wrote our own songs. Like, I thought the cover band was just the way to, if you're not touring all over, that's just a better way to make some money. But then we got super popular in town and decided to release an album, and it got picked up by IPR and Little Village, and it's been just a whirlwind. I can't even believe it's happening.
Good morning.
We're doing an interview.
That's awesome. Nice. Hey, a little pop in. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great.
Appearance.
It's my boss.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. We love it. That's all right. I was doing a podcast interview at the TV news station. I was in the green room doing a podcast before I went on the air when we released our last single back in March. So
Oh, nice.
We're kind of in the same boat. It's a little bit of a whirlwind for us. What I've kind of described it as is you do so many things in the dark and away from the eyes of the public. And you work really hard on these things. Obviously, with you guys doing an EP, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For me, it's been more of this podcast and songwriter nights and things that we're trying to build. And now that they're all starting and kind of gaining momentum, right, as like you're just trying to ride that wave that you created. And for you guys, you went into the studio with a mission to create some really good music, and you made something, you made a wave, and now you get to kind of ride the energy of that. And how fun to have the support of your hometown. It sounds like you guys are getting a lot of love close to home for your music, and that's really cool.
Yeah, it's been great because neither of us are originally from this area, but a lot of the bands in town are, so they have a ton of supporters just basically from growing up around here. And so it's been really cool to see all of our supporters, considering the fact that we really don't know a lot of people that well in this area yet, but we're getting there.
Yeah, so you guys are from Central Iowa, born and raised, you said. Now you're still in Central Iowa, I would say, correct? You're just in a different town?
Yep, we're both from small towns.
Yes, really small towns.
Hey, me too.
Awesome.
Yeah, I grew up in Deadwood, actually 10 miles
cool.
south of Deadwood, South Dakota, right in the middle of the woods. So I didn't even have a town, right? We were
Okay.
we were in the middle of the woods, and obviously, Deadwood's only about 1,000 people, and Lead is right next to it with what used to be the largest gold mine in North America.
Cool.
And it's a big hole. Now they actually have they have a neutrino lab down there, the Sanford lab, which is really cool. They're doing science stuff I have no idea about, but I still have friends that work down there. And and now I live in a farm town of 1,000 people. We talked before going on the air, and I described the town and the next closest town, and you said, hey, never heard of either one of them.
I have been to Deadwood.
Yeah, Deadwood's a go, right? Thank God for HBO. They really put us on the map, and Wild Bill Hickok, and it's a town with a lot of music, and it's changing for the better. I think is supporting more songwriters and stuff, but it's also a town run by casinos and gambling, right? So there's a lot of the cover bands, but I know a lot of people in that town. A good friend of mine, Jesse Allen, and some other fine people. My friend Bobby Joe Cool is actually throwing a big festival this weekend called Stardust Fest out there at the Deadwood Mountain Grand. And they're supporting their local arts and local songwriters and doing all those things too. So I think there's just really there's a revival of that going on, where for the last 25, 30 years, really, we've all heard cover bands. We're all playing the same music that we have been for the last 3 decades. And I think the whole world is ready for some new stories. It's not that we don't love that music and we're not going to bring it out, but we're ready to tell our stories. And I'm so glad that you guys have kind of leaned into that and that you are getting the support. It's an amazing thing to witness on a large scale. Me doing this podcast, I'm seeing it every day from all corners of the upper Midwest, at least to start. And I'm sure it's happening everywhere else as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you guys got some shows coming up in May. A big one you told me about coming up on the 23rd of May at Dancemore Ballroom in Swisher, Iowa. Can you tell us more about it? You guys have had a residency there, correct?
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. The owners reached out to us back in January and asked us if we wanted to be a part of Honky Tonk Thursdays. And
of course we did.
Sorry. For me, that's a dream come true.
And so we've been doing that once a month
since February.
And it's been really cool. I think just the nostalgia of the whole building just makes it a cool experience.
And should we break some news about May 24th on this podcast?
Yeah, we do have some exclusive news.
If you want us to break it for you.
Break it.
So we did just hear that we are going to be opening for Ian Munsick. on May 24th at the Extreme Arena in Coralville.
Iowa. So that's pretty cool. Get to be direct support in an arena to Ian.
Ian Munsick.
Dude, he's blowing up. Yeah, so we're big fans of his brother Tris.
Okay.
And
Oh, okay.
Tris Munsick is more of the old school country sound, very Western. We're big fans of him. We met him and saw his band in Sturgis, South Dakota. Must have been 3, 4, or 5 years ago now.
Awesome.
And obviously his brother is just completely blown up. They're all playing together out in Deadwood, coming up here in June. So probably
cool.
on that same tour.
We just heard of Ian when we got accepted to open up the show. That was unfortunately I haven't heard of him yet, but it seems like it's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I mean, he's a big Nashville recording artist, but he's a Wyoming boy and he really embraces that. It's really cool to see these guys out here. Chancey Williams is another one from Wyoming, comes through South Dakota a bit. Friend of a lot of people in our group. So it's really growing, and the upper Midwest is really growing. And I think a big congratulations due to you guys for the opportunity. We can't be happier for you to get to experience that. And I mean, how many seats is this arena?
I think it's around 6,600.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going to be sold out. It was sold out. 6,000 people, man. It's cool. So we have an amphitheater here in Sioux Falls called the Levitt Amphitheater, and it is downtown Sioux Falls, and they host 50 free concerts a year. They go every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all through the summer. And my band Starts and Ends has been asked to open the last 2 years. We've been asked to open again this year. This year we get to open for a band, Armchair Boogie, who is also from the Midwest area. And big in kind of the jam band scene. I think they call it newgrass. So they're kind of Americana and bluegrass and an updated sound on that. But it's really cool that we're all getting these opportunities to at least step on the big stages, right? Because it's a different animal. It's a different beast than playing your small bar gigs or even your, kind of 100 to 200 cap rooms, right? And I don't know what size the Dancemore ballroom is, but when you start talking about scale and the Levitt Amphitheater, I'm not sure how much it actually holds. It's several thousand, right? Probably 4 or 5. And the sea of people, there's something really cool about being up on that stage and having that experience, and how great that, we all get to go out there and do that and have those opportunities.
Yeah, we're bringing a film crew with us and just gonna have a ton of fun that day.
Yeah, soak it up, man. Soak it up. It only lasts for a few minutes, and you never know when those opportunities are going to come around again. So definitely soak it up. We can't wait to see all the footage from it, and just, it sounds like you guys are really going to have a great summer. I'm sure there's going to be some huge opportunities that spurn from that one as well. And gosh, we'd sure like to get you out here into South Dakota sometime soon as well. What do you guys got planned for the fall?
Not much right now. We're pretty wide open in the fall. South Dakota sounds fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, and we got a lot of gigs out here. We got a lot of gigs, and now being affiliated with the Midwest Country Music Organization as a member myself, I know you guys are also members. It's opening a lot of doors for even more opportunities for independent artists just like us, to keep doing what we love to do and to meet new people and to really build something out. I think a lot of our parents and grandparents will remember the circuits of these ballrooms out here in the Midwest. One we had here in Tyndall or close to it was called Groveland Park. And people rant and rave about, the times they had, because you had these upper Midwest bands that would just tour up here. They weren't looking to do anything else. And I think, like I said, there's a revival of that where none of us feel the need to go to Nashville, New York, and LA and all the way out. Why do we need to go out there? There's plenty of places to play in here close to home and build a career out of that.
Yep.
And I
Yeah,
think
and
you
I
guys
feel
have,
like we're special out here in Nashville. We would not be very
Yeah,
special.
we're the only honky tonk band around. So
right. And it's great. And see, so my band, I call it modern gypsy rock. So we're not doing much else that's different from a lot of the bands out here. It's a little country, it's a little rock and stuff. But also, what sets us apart is that we have original music. We have really good original music and original rock music that you don't really hear anymore. My songs kind of have more of like an alternative rock kind of bent to them. Although the genres kind of bend and meld a lot. There's so much room out here, and being at the Midwest Country Music Organization Awards show a few weeks ago really drove that home, is that there's so much room for everyone out here. And if we all get together, the more we're trading gigs and kind of just spreading around and just meeting each other, networking. And the podcast has now become a great vessel for that.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone has been super supportive from the CMO and just made us feel welcome right away. We're excited to be members.
Yeah, well, and we need to get you guys out to the award show next year for sure. April 12th
Yeah,
is
we
the
want
date.
to.
Yeah, April 12th is the date. Well, and I'm sure with all the noise that you guys are making this year that you'll probably get yourself nominated for a few awards. Um I
That
know
would
that
be dope.
I'll be throwing your name out there because the nominations are public. Anyone can kind of throw the names out there, and then it's kind of whittled down to a nomination committee. And the cool thing about the voting process with the award show is that it's voted on by us members ourselves. So
Okay.
you're really being, once the nominations are out there, then you're really being, not awarded necessarily, but recognized by your peers of, hey, you guys did really great this year. Kudos to you. I think it means a little more. And I think some people get caught with, award shows and things that we never really set out to win anything as music. The Battle of the Bands, I know a lot of people get a sour taste in their mouths from those things, right? Understandably so. That's not why we do art. But to be recognized, I think is very important. And it can build so much momentum to feel that loving energy from your peers, right? From the people that you admire.
Right.
And it was really important. And it was really cool for me to go and see that whole thing. And yeah, really spread the podcast. And now that's led to, getting a little more traction when we're posting in the group. And that's how we met you guys, and how we'll meet several other 100 members as we move forward. And yeah, I mean, I saw the next 2 decades of my life kind of laid out before me over the course of the weekend. And I was like, yeah, I'm good with this. Like, if
nice.
this is my life and this is what we do, this is what I've always wanted. I didn't want to go to Nashville. I've done it. I went to LA and I went, and I just like, why would I want to do this? And why would I want to take what I'm so passionate about and give that to someone else and have them ruin it?
I guess I feel exactly the same. Like I get asked a lot why we're not in Nashville or why we're not trying out for The Voice or things like that. And I want to have fun. I don't ever want it to be a job. I just want it to keep being fun.
But it can also make money as well.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. That's the bonus of it.
Yeah.
And
So
it's just touring is just a harder life, and we're kind of homebodies. We like our little house and like to be home on the weekends when we can, and yeah, we're just more interested about staying in one place and doing what we love.
that's awesome. And there's not saying that you can't travel a few weekends of the year if you want to and go see some friends out of town.
Yep,
And that's kind of
exactly.
how I build my tours. I want to go to Minneapolis for Father's Day. So I put out the APB to my friends up there. Hey, man, I'm looking for a couple of gigs. Just
Yep.
looking to pay for the hotel room, really,
Yeah.
And
Nice.
then I get to take my kids to a Twins game on Father's Day, right?
Nice.
And now my music has kind of at least, paid for the trip. Maybe I didn't
Yep.
come home with a big pile of money. Oh, well, I didn't have to
Yeah,
spend all
exactly.
my money to go have an experience. I want
Yep.
to go see Jelly Roll in October with Alexandra Kay, who I'm a huge fan of. She's an independent country artist herself, going on tour with Jelly Roll this year because he's got love for her as an independent artist. Her hometown, St. Louis. I said that's where we're going to see her. We met her in Sioux Falls, did a meet and greet, and she was just a beautiful person, right? Just a beautiful human being. And I'm tickled to go see her in her hometown. And then, yeah, the show's on a Wednesday. I figure, well, what the heck, man? Maybe I can find some shows on the way back. Found some friends in St. Louis and Kansas City. Hey, guys, what can you do for me? Well, we got plenty of time. We'll get you something. Don't worry about it, Bubba. So now it's like, okay, hey, your music has always been the vessel or the means to the end, and the end has always been, for me, experiences. No one is ever going to say that I got cheated on my role in life. I'm taking full advantage, and it sounds like you guys are too,
Yeah.
and being able to do what you want from where you want is fine. Just come
Yep.
see us in South Dakota a couple times a year.
Oh yeah,
Done.
100%. I want to make it out there really bad.
Yeah, well, and I got connections out in Deadwood too. So what we're really trying to do is to build out little mini tours for our friends in the Midwest and going both ways. Now we got connections to Central Iowa and all the way to the border there,
Hmm.
through our contacts in the MCMO. So there's a lot of synergy going, and I think when we spread and network like we are, it's very similar to the way mycelium spreads. And just being out with all the rain we've had out here, the morels have been going crazy all over the Midwest, right?
And the
So you
ticks,
think,
though. So
yeah,
watch
and the
out.
ticks, right? Well, yeah, hey, you gotta take the good with the bad, right? You want to
Yeah,
go
exactly.
foraging, buddy. There's other foragers in the woods too.
Yep.
Um, so how cool to watch the network spread, and then you see the fruit pop up everywhere where you don't even know the network has spread out to these places, but then you start to see the fruit, to
Hmm.
put it in mycological terms. So really, really awesome that you guys are, seeing some success with what you're doing, and it's all going so well. You have the EP out, is Two Stepping in the Shower, the single by the same name, Two Stepping in the Shower, you guys have sent to me. It's going to be on a future episode of Love Noise. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the song?
Okay, well, um, so I was talking to a couple of my friends, and they've uh, always wanted to write a song with me because they're big country music fans. And I was like, okay, we're going to release an EP. I need a fourth song, so let's do something. And they had a night together where they just, I think, drank a lot of wine and then came up with some lyrics to Two Steppin' in the Shower, and they sent it to me. And then I kind of revamped it and changed the chords. And that's how we came out with the song. But it was a blast to co-write with people. I've never done that before, and I want to do it again so bad. It was so much fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So you get some friends together and have a couple glasses of wine, trade some lyrics back and forth, and
Yep.
next thing you know, you got a hit on a hit on your hands. So
Yep.
We hope.
yeah, well, it sounds like it already is. The success that you're having, just because it doesn't go global doesn't mean that it's not a hit, right?
Yeah, I couldn't be more happy with how everything has turned out. It's been great.
Yeah. So I mean, you're not stopping there, right? Are you guys working on new music now?
Oh yeah,
Oh
we've
yeah.
already got a couple that we're working on, and we actually had a song that was just offered to us because it's written in the perspective of a female, and it was a male singer that wrote it. And he's like, I think this song would be perfect for you guys. So he just gave it to us. So we're hopefully going to be working that up soon. And then I've written two more songs. And then me and my co writers have another song too that we're working on. So
So we
hopefully
should
we
be
get a
looking
full
for,
album.
yeah, well, album by the end of the year, maybe.
That would be the goal.
Or
Yeah,
yeah,
well,
yeah, get into the studio by the end of the year,
yeah,
December,
and
January.
having something to release by next year and next summer to get out and tour behind locally,
Yep.
of course.
Yep.
So you guys got a lot of things coming. I absolutely love it. It's been a joy talking to you all today and getting to meet you. I can't wait to meet you in person. We got a lot of stuff to plug here. What do we got? So Two Stepping in the Shower, the new EP on Spotify, YouTube, everywhere. People can find you there.
Yep.
Awesome. And then the 23rd of May, the Dancemore Ballroom, Swisher, Iowa, where you guys have been residents. So I'm sure that one's going to be hopping. And that's a precursor to May 24th, where you're opening for Ian Munsick.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Where was that show at again?
At the Extreme Arena in Coralville, Iowa.
Extreme Arena. So yeah, y'all heard it here. Make sure you go and get tickets to that Ian Munsick show and check out our friends Katie and the Honky Tonks.
Yep.
Katie and Luke, I appreciate you guys jumping on with me today. It's been fun.
Yes, thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.
Thank
you. You as well. And for everyone else, this has been The Scene. Thank you for listening. Remember to go to patreon.com/thescenesd. Follow us on all your social media channels and make yourself part of The Scene.